Greetings, queens and kings. If you stopping by, welcome back to my channel. Family, our boy is finally gone, huh? His evil behind is taken out. Now, what I'm gonna get into, of course, you can put your comments on who you think may have took our boy down, but I am going to have a separate video on that so we can have more of a discussion. But let's get into it. Now, boy Rich comes in there to save the day, and I'm glad he did. But what I don't like is the flack that Sabrina has been giving Rich. She's gonna point out that he's been there for me, and when you haven't, and all this. Listen, you have not going on 4 months that you've been with Rich, and you trying to put a baby on him because you think your biological clock is running out. But that's not fair to Rich. You and him have had a great relationship. Lots of sex. He treats you well, respectful. That's not the issue. Now, the doctor is trying to say what you gonna do. Like, she expecting a sperm donor. But at the same time, doc, this is her man. And he has changed his mind. He don't want her taking this dude's sperm. And I don't blame him because I don't trust this guy. He may be Gary 4.0. And for Sabrina to be so gullible and naive as the way she gets, sometimes she need to listen and reconsider this, because people can change their mind. And the way, I forgot this brother's name, how he got all disrespectful for Rich, I don't like it. But the nurse said, you got to move quick if this is what you're going to do, because I think they only have a week to make a decision. But we don't need your sperm. We going natural. Me and my man could do the do. Now, here you got Miss Marie. She's at her wit's end, like, what's the deal? What you got for me? Don't be wasting my money. So he's like, we're going to have to go another route, I guess, with the affair with the secretary, because that's not getting nowhere. So she's like pissed off, like, well, what are we going to do? And she's basically out to hang Hayden, out to dry. So she's done with him. She threw up the hand like, boy, bye, you're not doing anything. But Maurice came through, and Andy better be happy, because she said, listen, we was barking up the wrong tree. Our boy was not looking at the ladies. He was on this fantasizing site, or whatever the name of that site, with men, and that's how he was doing his money. He had a secretary doing a separate account. So Miss Marie was so happy, because she said, once he hears about this, that we have this information, he's not gonna be trying to come for your money, because he don't want this mess out. So she said, I knew you was the one to handle this. You put the trump card out. Yes, thanks to our boy Maurice. You have a lot to thank him for. Yes, you do, Andy, because he blew it out the water. He blew it out the water with this. But Miss Marie saw that something was wrong. She was like, you better thank Jordan. Y'all gonna be this political power couple. And she said no. She wanted to keep it professional, but Miss Marie said, you helped me save a lot of money, so tell me what's going on. And she told her about Gary, and she was like, oh my God, like, is it that serious? And she said, yeah, it's that serious. He got this stuff on Jordan that could mess up his career, hurt me, and I'm gonna have to marry this man. And she was like, let me see what I could do. Miss Marie is powerful. She knows some people. She was like, oh, hell to the no. We powerful women, nothing but a man gonna shake us, because we don't play about our business, and he cannot do this to you, girl. You saved all my millions or billions or whatever, how much he got, and I'm not having it. So you just hold tight and let me see what I could do. And before I would have hit that altar, I would have been calling Miss Marie like, you found anything, girl? Because tonight's the night. What did you find out? So she's nervous, but I guess she said, listen, I'm desperate. So now Miss Marie goes to check on her boy to see if she can get some afternoons of light, because she feeling good. And Hayden is salty, like, no. Like, why you gonna play me out like that? And she was like, boy, I did not think you was that type to get like that, but you didn't have to do that to me in front of her. His little ego was hurt. So then he came to threat her, like, what are they gonna think about you? I guess having sex with me. She was like, I'm a grown-ass woman. I know you're not about to play these games with me, because once I tell them some things on you, I don't think you want that to come out. I'm like, Hayden, you are barking up the wrong tree. Miss Marie thought you was an absolute joke. She will play with you and toy with you, but she was not going to help you be partner. She was just getting her little freak on and having some fun at this office with somebody she thought was fine. but no promises whatsoever. You put yourself in that situation because of your ego, and look what you got. Absolutely nothing, like Andy told you. Now our boy is up, he wants to know what's up with Fatima. You came in all frazzled and upset. And she said, yeah, I went to go follow Gary, find out what the situation with Andy. And, old security man roughed me up. And he was like, what? Are you serious? And he wanted to go out and handle that. He's like, Gary is dead. And he was like, no. Basically, let me handle it. He know his wife is well connected. She got Madam in her corner. Just roll with me, baby. You got a lot to lose. You got little Michael now. You can't do like you used to do back in the day. No. So he finally swallowed his pride and listened to her, and she was like, I got it. Gary basically is gonna get all he deserves. We gonna handle it. Okay, just roll with me, babe. I got you. And he said, okay, I'm gonna go sit down on the couch. He was like, and you better just go on the couch too. Don't try to creep up out of here. So on the way, Miss Marie was leaving. She ran into old girl Pam. I guess she got to handle her legal business at the firm. And she said, aren't you that fabulous woman who gave me that fabulous edge cream? And she said, yeah. And so Miss Marie was like, she liked the product so much that she was looking for an investor. And remember I said that before the other week? They going to wind up doing some business together. So she said, let's talk about it at the elevator. Now, old Pops here, I guess the head of the firm, called Andy, and Andy was all scared. Look at her face like, oh my God, what this man gonna do? Because last they know they wanted to get rid of my behind because of old Gary and all that FBI stuff. But he was like, listen, our firm been through a lot. She was like, I understand, and you was hemmed up and all that. But Miss Marie done came in here and said she bringing us all the business. You hear me? Millions and millions, maybe even billions of dollars. And that is because of the wonderful job you did on the case. So yes, what was the place? Barringer Jones or something, Jones and Barnes. She was like, first she had to catch it, like, Barnes, oh yes, you are partner, girl. Our girl was dancing like, yes. I was so happy for Andy with all the hell she's going through. And so Hayden gonna bring his butt up in there talking about, if it wasn't for me, I'm gonna let the partners know, you basically got it at the end zone or whatever. And she was like, excuse me, your tactics of doing things was so wrong, basically. And when he said, we don't play that, and when he threw out her last name and the name of the firm, Hayden was like, oh hell no. And she said, yeah, and from now on, boo, you gonna report to me. He did not like that shit. I'm like, get him, Andy. Girl was so happy. I was so proud of her. Get it, Andy. So now Rich is talking to Sabrina and basically letting her know, I'm like, Sabrina, stop it. It's not fair how you doing, Rich. It really isn't fair how you doing it. Put in the comments what you think about this situation. Like, should she be mad at him for not wanting a child or going to the stranger to get the sperm? How do you feel? Because, after talking to his friends, Rich realized, I never really found a woman I wanted children with. He came from a big family. He probably did a lot as an uncle. And, they haven't been together not even a year. But he realized, this is the woman I want to have children with. Like, I finally in a place in my life where I'm ready to settle down. And I found that good woman. And I think it's people make that realization because he's at a different place in his life. And he's saying, like in the words of Mahogany with Billy D. Williams and Diana Ross, success means nothing unless you got someone to share it with. So basically, that's what he told her. So y'all get that baby naturally. You don't need no crazy man sperm. Now y'all can have that baby the natural way. So now Tamira's there on her phone as usual, probably hitting up Gary or whatever. And at this point, Hayden is deflated. The partnership thing is done. He's hurt. Andy done made partner. The case, he was like, the least you can do laying around here is clean. You ain't doing nothing. Chick, I don't blame him. Have me a meal in a clean place. I'm giving you a roof over your head. And then he like, oh, whatever. You was with that old bag or whatever. I'm like, Tamira, shut up. Because you are really in no place. Your coochie ain't that good. You are not in a good place to be mouthing off and popping lip. And the way Hayden was feeling, which I don't blame him, oh, I'm going to deal with you now. I'm not taking all your lip. Give me that damn phone. Because this is all you doing is staying on that phone. So she tried to fight like hell. He said, you fighting a little hard for somebody not doing nothing. And lo and behold, he found out what she was doing. Y'all, he saw the tape. All the moaning and carrying on. I said, oh, no. So now Danny's back at the house. Old boy coming in who was little tulips, I guess, apologizing. Now, this is what I want to ask y'all. Did you find this whole conversation a little weird? Now, all of a sudden, he's talking to Danny about how, he apologized to her, and he, didn't set boundaries with the ex and saying all the right things. But then lo and behold, the wife is going to Italy and she taking his children. I think he would have thought he would have been a little bit more sad because his babies are his whole world. Now, are you coming back to Danny because the woman is now gone all of a sudden? Why was she coming so hard to get her man back if she was going to be deployed to a whole nother country? And so I'm thinking, like, do you really think Tony made amends? Because Danny didn't even get a chance to tell him what she wanted to say. And then he cut her off and said, save it. I'll be back in a few days. Say what you're going to say. Why can't I say what I have to say now? That was just so strange to me. Tell me, listen to her. But it almost was like goodbye flowers. I'm going to meet with my children. She said, I know your children means a lot to you. So he's going to stay with them for a few days, help them pack, I guess spend that quality time uninterrupted. Gave her a kiss. I'll talk to you in a few days. Talk to me in a few days? Like, I can't hear from you tomorrow, even for a 5-minute phone call, or finish hearing my conversation just because your children leaving? I don't know, y'all. Do you think, I don't know if Tyler's getting rid of Tony already, but the way he left her and looked at the apartment, like looked around once he kissed her goodbye, it was almost as if this was his last, time in the apartment. You see this? You see how he's looking? Why are you looking around the apartment like this is a goodbye? And then he left and he said, I'll talk to you. And she's happy. I don't know. I got a strange feeling. Like, is he leaving for a while? I don't know if he's leaving his job. He got a good job at the airport. But just the way he moved gave me a little uneasy feeling. I hope he's not doing that to her and hurting her, but he's going away with the wife and children. But he does come back. And when he does, is everything really going to be that smooth? I don't know. Put in the comments what you thought about that scene. So now we have Hayden. He found out, and she up there crying, feeling all bad. I said, damn. And then he wanted to know how long this has been going on. My man was hurt. He was like, how could you do this to me? He threatened me. I had to do it. She was trying to get money. So he was like, how long this been going on? And then she was like, a couple times, he would call me over or whatever. And she was like, no, you didn't do this because of me. You did it because you wanted to do it. You, after a while, you was really feeling Gary, even though Gary ain't crap. And this man was hurt. He said, I loved you. And really, Hayden did. Hayden is, he has his negative motives. He can be grimy when it comes to business and competition with him and Andy. But he's not the level of evil like Gary. This man really had feelings, just like he got overboard with Fatima. He got jealous with Gary. It's his own insecurities. It's like the boy that was picked with, the boy that was overweight, the one that was going through so much in school. Now he got a little prestige, a little education, some money. And now he feels he need that person. He just needed some love. So Hayden, I really did feel bad about old boy because he really got hurt. So his day is all the way messed up. So now, Andy, Miss Andrea Barnes' partner, wanted to give her last message to Jordan. So she left a message on his thanking him, that she made partner, and that's because of the client of Miss Marie that he gave to Andy, and she just wanted to give her goodbyes before she got married that night. So the girls are at the house, and they just really talking about Karen is really pissed off. She want to go and handle Gary. She said, she can't be, all of a sudden in love again with Gary. And then, 1 minute she was just in love with Jordan. We have to do something. And, they really just plotting. And Sabrina, like, she's been through this with Gary before. Maybe she really decided she loved this guy. And they're like, Danny at the point where she just want to go kill Gary. Karen in her belly. I'm like, Karen, you need to sit down somewhere, girl. You big pregnant and you sitting up there wanting to do something with this and that. You got to really be careful. But Karen is from the streets. And if you guys remember the first time Andy was going to marry Gary, do you remember the threat she gave Gary? She told him, if you ever hurt her like this again, it'll be your last time. Like, I would literally take you out. So that made, I thought about that old tape, because another discussion went on that in a group. And I'm like, Karen, you didn't do anything, did you? So now our couple here, got a call from Karen. She wanted to speak to Fatima. So she said, Fatima, what do you know? I know that something's going on today that the wedding's taking place, but I don't have the place. And she was like, Andy really don't want you guys to know. She was like, come on now. Even Danny said, I tried to reach out to you, girl, but you didn't answer before. She said she was on the phone and she trying to help her. So now, they cool. Cameron's like, yeah, we gonna call our girl because I know she knows something. She get things done. So now she gave her the information. And so, Zach is like, what we doing? She was like, if they going over there to meet with Andy to go find her, I'm going to text her. I text her the place. We all going to roll. We all going to go out there and see what we got to do. Now, Andy is trying to make her last ditch effort with Mr. Devil to see, we don't have to do this. Like, she's looking gorgeous too. And he got his tux and he like, wait a minute, they ain't just bad luck to see me. I'm like, Joker, you are the bad luck. So, he's pissed off with her because of course, in the back of his mind is like, you must really love this guy that you would sit up there and sacrifice for him, even with this threat. And yeah, and you need to realize that. So that pisses him off even more. So he was like, no, you're going to sign the license now. She was like, don't we have to wait, babe, until, the wedding? So she thought she can sweet talk him, but he's not trying to hear this. I mean, Gary is pure evil. So nothing you can say, he could care less about you, really. He's obsessed with her. But to say he loves her, no, there's no love. It's a control and a power thing. And he wanted to destroy Jordan and couldn't do it. And now this is last ditch effort not to have somebody like Jordan have one up on him. So then Hayden comes and, he's like fuming. Like, this is our next suspect in taking Gary out. He has every reason in the world to want to take him out. And so he talked to him. He's crying. Where are you? He was like, and it's not Penelope. Guess what, man? I'm getting married. He was like, is it Andrea? I thought you wanted to do something to her. He was like, yeah. And he sent her the address. He was like, I'm coming. First, he was like, you and Tamara. He was like, no, not Tamara. We having problems. Now, he's hurt. So Zach and Fatima, she gave him a sack with something in it, talking about this is for me and you. I'm like, girl, what's in here? What you got plotting? Weapons? So they about to go out, and I would like to know what's in the bag. So the girls are there, and of course, Gary's sidekick, he's like, who I have is another suspect too, because I don't trust the sidekick guy, to be honest. Maybe he took him out and then playing it off like they getting married, but you done did something with old boy in the back. And the girl's trying to talk her out of this, and Danny like, I got the shoes, she got sneakers on, she got the heels in the hand, you don't got to do this. And she not trying to hear it. Like, I'm in love, that same sob story. And so Jordan comes in to try to talk to her too, because he heard her message. And he was like, babe, I'm not worried about any threats, because she said she's trying to protect him. And, I'm doing this for you. And they had a heart-to-heart talk, which absolutely broke her. And, go out there and basically live your life. And he don't care about his political whatever. He don't care about what Gary may do. He knows she's under pressure. He knows that she loves him, but she's doing this at the hands of Gary. And he's trying to make his last-ditch effort to save her from doing this. And I'm like, at the end of the day, Jordan, I don't know. Let her go, because if she's willing to do this and sacrifice, it has to be something real serious, or you just going to have to let her go and do whatever it is she needs to do. But it was a sad moment. He couldn't get through. It was just painful, because she, the love of her life, the love she always wanted, was someone sane. She's about to lose it after someone crazed that she thought she got away from. But for someone to be so strong and powerful, and now as a partner in a firm, when it comes to relationships, a lot of times we a mess as women. We strong when it comes to our work, but horrible when it comes to relationships. And that's Andy. So she started reminiscing when they first met, and how they do, how great of a partnership they was. And then you go back to the days of her twists and locks in her hair. Remember that ring that Gary gave her that was locked on her finger? The penthouse with her image and all of this stuff. And then the threat. So, just the whole life she had with Jordan so far in comparison to Gary really started, messing with her head. So, the friend is there. And, she said, I'm going to go see. He got me in a situation. Why is he taking so long? And when she got there, she saw somebody took old boy out. She was shocked. She looked around. But then again, she was happy. A little smile on her face. So she had to play it off like, and scream. I said, look at her. I said, girl, you want to jump for joy. But you got to play it off like you are afraid and scared. And I'm like, yo, who did it, fam? Now, this is someone who probably totally took uh, Gary, you know, by surprise. Because normally when it comes to stabbing, it's usually a female. However, who knows? Maybe it wasn't a female, maybe it was a male. We know Fatima is always about the gun, so I don't even see her stabbing him, but who knows? Then you have Tamara. Maybe because Gary ruined her life, she's coming after him. We know Hayden was on the way. We also know that well, one of the girls, I don't know. We didn't really see the girls go out. I don't know if one of them might have did it. I don't know. Then you have Miss Marie, who's supposed to get somebody. Maybe one of her henchmen. She got to take him out. Now, Madam, we know Fatima put the call out. Maybe she made it, but she had other plans she had to deal with. But maybe she got there in time. I don't know. Another guess is the sidekick, Gary's partner. Maybe because of the business dealings, he wanted Gary out of the way so he can get whatever money that they have. You know, he knows all the secrets with Gary. The little blonde kid that he used to set up Jordan, I don't know if he would have did anything, but it's a list of people that really had it out for Gary that may have did this, so you never know. So family, put in the comments, who do you think killed Gary? Absolutely unbelievable. Our boy is finally taken out. This reminds me of the days of Dallas. For the Gen X's out there, who shot JR? So until next season, family, stay blessed, stay authentically you, and live the life you deserve. Peace.